Can we bleep all the
We don't. No, we don't bleep fan.
Wait, really? We don't?
I don't think so.
I think we
As
should.
if.
We only bleep the N word.
I've had a cock in my mouth. I'm fine. I can
Wait,
say
you
it.
should. Wait, is that serious?
So, Chad, Do Anything Gay for Views, has, I guess, soyed out and made an apology on Twitter for saying racist and sexist things. Pulled the idubbbz card.
The amount of fans I've had the pleasure to meet over this past year has been a blessing and a heartwarming experience. I can't believe how many of you MFers watch our and are so involved. In my life, I've only ever wanted to entertain and bring joy and laughter to other people's life on and off camera, and I hope people who know me can attest to that. However, when I was younger, I said and did some pretty edgy stuff online to impress a community that I thought I needed approval from for some stupid reason.
So that's the only reason you ever made racist and sexist jokes? You didn't think they were funny? You didn't think they were funny? You only made them to impress other people? That sounds gay and cringe. That sounds like a bad excuse. This doesn't prove that you're not racist and sexist. This proves that you're a pussy. You're a grifter is what you're saying.
I said some horrid racist and sexist things on stream because it made a chat move quicker and made me feel like it was entertaining. When I inevitably got banned for the shit I was saying, it broke me completely. But looking back at it now, it was a good thing, because it forced me to take a step back and think about what I was saying and the impact it had on not just myself, but people watching and even the people around me.
And you're not saying any of this because you're sorry, alright? It's one thing if you're just saying this because you're genuinely, for whatever reason, sorry for saying these things, and you're like, oh my god, I did so much harm. Right? It's one thing if that's the case, but you're just doing it to save face. You're just doing it so that you can continue to sell grog. You don't care about the supposed moral implications that you're implying are there. It's because this guy, Captain Howdy, started, I guess, emailing the liquor stores and wherever they were selling grog, and then gave them like clips of Chad being racist and sexist, and got the places to drop them. Captain Howdy, these products have been pulled from Total Wine and More shelves. The views expressed are abhorrent and entirely inconsistent with our values and brand. Chad isn't all of a sudden sorry. He's sorry his true behavior is coming to light and is losing him money. If he was sorry, he would have said something years ago and not just off the back of grog retail partners like Total Wine, IGA Liquor, and Celebrations dropping him hundreds of stores. We've been investigating Chad's actions for the last 5 weeks, and what we found is deeply disturbing. The behavior he claims is only on camera or is in the past is completely false, and we have testaments and videos to prove it. Chad has even gone to the effort of deleting Reddit posts and comments, as well as hiding our tweets/replies to stop this information from coming out. Our video coming out tomorrow will go into much further detail. Here's a Reddit post from the Cold Ones subreddit that was deleted by moderators last week. A fan encountered a Total Wine employee telling them grog was recalled because it didn't align with their values. Chad is a moderator on the Reddit. He's desperately trying to hide criticism and evidence that he was ever anything but the perfect embodiment of soy f***ery. I agree that the Captain Howdy is just as much of a cringe, trying to get people's drink pulled out of stores because they said racist stuff. That's cringe and gay. At the same time, in the world we live in, those are the consequences for your actions. You said racist stuff in the past. I think it's a W. But in turn, somebody's gonna try and come and cancel you if you're super popular, right? That's just I think it's a reality. But to kind of like act like this is coming out of nowhere, and it's like, how could you ever expect this, right? Like, that's like, I understand, right? That's how I felt when the last video got taken down for bullying and harassment. It is explicitly against the terms and conditions, right? And it's gay, and I think that's dumb. I think that shouldn't be the rules. However, they are the rules. So I've shut up about it. Whatever. It's just the matter of things. I just have to be more careful. That's just the reality of the world. but he's such a crybaby that he is literally Bo Black's spurging out trying to hide any criticism about him. And this isn't like everyone's acting like this is out of nowhere and this is the first time he's done this. He's been doing this since the beginning. He was in spurgouts with Tommy C over like the Baited podcast.
I know Clown comes off as this fucking goody nice guy on the fucking internet, but honestly, the shit that he's been pulling for the past few weeks, he has fucked us, and I'm so sick of him fucking us. I'm actually so sick of him like fucking us. I'm publicly gonna fuck if he doesn't respond by tomorrow, I'm publicly dragging him through the mud.
This fat shit has got nothing on me. Absolutely nothing. Talking out of his fucking ass, he doesn't have one thing.
Not one thing.
Chad, Anything for Views, went on to replace Colossal is Crazy on the Baited podcast. And I guess they had to re-record the first episode and then like didn't tell anyone and just pretended like that wasn't the case. And Tommy C speculated that was the case and called them out for it and was like a pretty regular criticizer of Anything for Views, and he would just lie about it and act like and call like Tommy schizo and say that he's like schizoing out, and said that he like wished that Tommy C had died in the war because he's a veteran. Like that's it. That's crazy. That's insane, because he's not saying that as like a funny dark humor joke. He's saying it because he's like a crybaby having a temper tantrum.
You know, I miss Colossal. I think Colossal had good input for this podcast. However, Tommy, I'm glad he's gone. Good riddance. I wish he just died in the army. That cunt had no input to this podcast besides him agreeing. This was his vocabulary. I agree. Yes, my name's Tommy. I have a kid. Give me money. I was in the army. Ha ha ha. He was a built-in laugh track. I'm glad he's gone.
He's trying to be edgy funny, but then also say what he really thinks about Tommy in the same sentence. And it just comes off as vindictive, jealous. So then he fakes that, or they have to re-record the first episode of the podcast. And they act like, and then he pretends like that's not the case and that didn't happen. And so he gets rightfully criticized for it, for the podcast sounding unnatural. And then he just spurgs out and acts like Tommy is being a schizo and he's just a conspiracy theorist.
You told me privately that my speculation was correct about you having to re-record. But he keeps going on and telling people that I'm a liar and a conspiracy theorist. That f***ing ends. And look at this. I mean, he told me 2 weeks ago. It's not like I just came back out and said, hey, I was right. I honestly thought that this would mean an end to the constant accusations of being a fucking liar. Keep in mind, me and Chad are not friends. We've never had a Skype conversation. We never play video games. Nothing like that.
Tommy C brings it up on his podcast. Goes over the first episode and says, this kind of seems like scripted. This kind of seems like maybe it was re-recorded or something. Like something seems unnatural about it. And then Chad, messages him privately, says the first couple of minutes of the podcast on Beta didn't sound organic because we started with the first 5 to 7 minutes and my internet went down, so we had to start again. We were just replicating it as best we could. That's insane. I mean, just say that. Like it's infinitely better to say that you're just that you're gonna try and recreate it as best as you could than just pretend like that's not the case.
The first couple of minutes of the podcast didn't sound organic because we started 5 to 7 minutes, blah blah blah. I said I kind of said that in the podcast. He kind of said it like kind of saying like you're calling me a liar all the time. So I knew that. And then he came back to me and he said, did you post my DMs? And I said, no, I didn't post your DMs, but I did say you told me that I was right. So my speculation about Kavos has been right. My speculation about them having to re-record is right. And they're continuing to call me a tinfoil hat, Alex Jones type to make sure none of the things I have effect.
So, yeah, his response is to just, to what Tommy C says, is just to say, this is why no one likes you. Like, and saying, like, why don't you act your age? It's like, this is YouTube commentary. What do you mean act your age? He's calling you out on your f***ing bullshit. He's rightfully criticizing your clear reputation, and you immediately lash out on it instead of critically responding. Like that just goes to show that you are the reason he speculates you are. It's so abundantly clear. He has always been this soy. He has always been this This is not new. This is not a new thing. I don't know why you guys are like freaking out like this is a new thing.